Our first piece then is to look over our agenda, as any well-organized class will do. So I will revisit our migration timeline, and I'll touch a little bit more on the procedure that's needed for the migration of each course that comes out of Blackboard and into Canvas. There's a slightly different technique if you are building a course from scratch in Canvas, so we'll go over that too. Now there's three important types of course shells that you'll see in Canvas. So we want to be distinct in what those three mean. So we'll talk about that. I'll give you a quick preview of the model course that you should have received an invitation for early this morning, as well as the training course that will be open to all faculty here on February. I'm shooting for the 1st. We'll have a few minutes for some pilot faculty feedback. Those faculty who are currently in the pilot can share with you some of the hiccups or successes that they have found over the first few weeks of the pilot. And we'll have a bit of time for you to get hands-on in Canvas in these areas so that you can start working with them. So let's go ahead and get started by looking at our migration timeline. If you recall this timeline from our previous two sessions, we are moving along pretty well. We are currently towards the end of January into February and March, and we're doing the same thing for those 3 months. That consists of migrating the content out of Blackboard, transforming it so it works best with Canvas, getting faculty trained on the new system, and we are currently running the pilot of 18 courses. So for the next 3 months here, we're going to be working really closely with you in online learning to make sure that any content you have in Blackboard doesn't disappear on you when we move to Canvas. If you have not told us exactly where to go to find that content, we might not be able to get the correct information into Canvas for you. So please pay close attention to your emails as they will let you know what's moving and when. In April, we will have one last shot at Blackboard to archive the content that still needs to be removed. And then May, June, and July will be our last cleanup before we leave Blackboard for good. On July 1, we lose access to Blackboard, but all courses for the summer intersession must be running in Canvas. We can't stop and move to the other system in the middle of the intersession or in the middle of summer term. So those courses will begin in Canvas. We have prioritized intersession and summer course content out of Blackboard. Those are the first courses we're converting and getting back to faculty. So if you teach a summer course and you have identified content to come out of Blackboard, hopefully we can get that to you here in the next few weeks. And I am not moving anymore. So the procedure then for getting out of Blackboard and into Canvas has already begun. Last fall, we had faculty identify the content they wanted to get out of Blackboard. This spring, then, we are moving that content into Canvas. We will continue to work with that, moving that content in, and we will work with you to make sure that that content is correct and that you understand how to work with it. Access to Blackboard is lost on July 1st, but that does not mean that your content is destroyed or deleted. We have archived content in Blackboard. So if something is missing in Blackboard right now, we can probably still get it back for you. It may take a few days, but we can get it back. After July 1, that becomes even more difficult. So please closely monitor emails coming from online learning so that when that final Blackboard archive check happens, you don't have content that gets overlooked. If you're not pulling content out of Blackboard, but instead you're building in Canvas from scratch, there's a different procedure. You'll receive a link to this request for shell form along with a copy of these slides and a recording of this session in your email as soon as this recording is available. This link to this form is the only way that online learning knows that you need new space to work with in Canvas. The form is extremely simple. I'm going to switch over and show it to you now. It asks for the purpose, if it's going to be for a course or departmental communications or for some other reason. What your preferred name is and which department do you work in. These are the three pieces that we need to be able to create your space.